Greetings to my YouTube followers. This is John DeMocus, aka Half Man, Half Cichlid. I want to talk about growing aquarium plants today, especially around the topic of CO2. I've been in the hobby for 60 plus years, and I must say, even with my background in biology, I've always had problems growing aquarium plants. I typically, in the past, blamed it on hard water, high pH. I've lived in places like Houston, Chicago, Indianapolis that have hard water. But I decided last summer, and after only being able to grow crypts and water lettuce, I decided to add CO2 to my 200-gallon aquarium. So 4 months ago, I hooked up the CO2 bottle and system. I also started dosing iron and potassium and micronutrients. I also switched out my lights. I mean, nothing expensive, but plant light spectrum from Beam's work. And I also added a number of Siamese algae eaters. You can see a couple right there. And the intention with them was to, nip any blackbeard algae in the bud and prevent it from growing, which I had a problem with previously before the CO2. So, a number of the plants here, you can see I have water sprite. I've got octopus plant. I've got, of course, Java fern, which you can see down in the bottom. I've got some Amazon swords that are coming along nicely. I've got some Anubias. And, of course, the plants that I've had the longest in the aquarium were my crypts, which over the last 2 to 3 years, and I'll zero in on them here, have really become lush and done what they did rather well without CO2. But since I added CO2, it's almost been like giving them steroids. If anybody has crypts that look even nicer than these, I'd love to see them and what they're doing to get them to look so beautiful. So anyway, this has really opened up an exciting chapter in my aquarium keeping. I have to trim these plants about once a week, which I've got the time to do, and I find to be very relaxing. And I also love having them in baskets, the plants in baskets. That seems to get them to really grow well, because I can live in a rather deep substrate within the baskets. I can move them around to make sure that the plants are getting proper lighting. And the Anubias and Java fern, for example, I have attached to driftwood, so they're pretty easy to move around too. So in any event, hope you'd enjoy, and we'll keep you tuned in as the tank further develops.